Hello and welcome to SpaceEngine Exploration. So, hopefully I got the audio right this time. I went ahead and switched my mixer over to monitoring mode so I can hear my own voice and compare the audio, and I made sure it's all correct before I started recording this video, so hopefully I should be loud and clear over the music. But the music should still be pretty audible. And also, I'm going to order a shock mount so I can get rid of the, as you can kind of hear there, the thumping against my desk, because I don't know why, but in more recent videos it's been a little bit more prominent. I've also got a longer mic arm that reaches in front of me now, so now when I'm reading the comments like I am currently, it doesn't get quieter, I guess. And I've also tuned my mixer, so I've gone through and triple checked all the audio, quadruple checked, even failed one of these recordings because I messed something up. But yeah, basically, hopefully, everything is correct audio-wise this time, apart from the thumping, which will hopefully be fixed soon when I have a shock mount for my microphone and all the desk sounds are not being picked up. And hopefully the clicking from the keyboard's a little bit quieter. I can't really get rid of that entirely, but the microphone is further away from the keyboard now. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So the first suggestion is from Namikaze. Let's go ahead and select this ID here. Let's paste this in. I've also went through and messed with my video settings for SpaceEngine to get it running a little bit better as well. So hopefully it's pretty stutter-free and less crashing. I have the detail turned down, and I turned down the loading speed a little bit. You guys may have saw I did that in the last episode, but I did a little bit more, just not too much more, just a little bit more to get the performance up a bit. Okay, so this is a Uranus-like gas giant located in the Orion Nebula. If it's Uranus-like, I guess it would be rotated this way. Is this gas giant we're talking about? Well, it doesn't rotate my camera or anything. So I assume it'd be facing this way if it was more like Uranus. It even has the tiny rings. They're not as faint as Uranus, but that's very cool. So I assume it is spinning this way on a kind of 90-degree tilt. The one thing I would say that's not like Uranus is not blue, it's kind of a pale gray. So that's probably the only inaccuracy here, and the rings are a little bit too dark. But that could just be because we're within the Orion Nebula, and we have this beautiful nebula around us. Interesting. The composition is hydrogen and helium. I think all the gas giants are in this game pretty much. And I need to turn the volume on because I cannot hear. There we go. Okay, so flying under the atmosphere right now. And dark insides. And this beautiful banded shadow from the rings. Let's see how many moons it has. 57 total moons, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess I could have just checked 8, 11 there. 11, like, large planetary moons, I guess you would say. And the first two look like they are just Selenas with, auroras on them, so that means they have large churning iron cores, I guess, to have a magnetosphere to produce these auroras. Oh, speaking of which, this one even has volcanic activity. That's Selena with volcanic activity, that's pretty cool. Interesting. Is there other volcanoes? Yep, I see one right there. Hey, they're not really tall volcanoes, they're just kind of there. It's almost like a crater, like an asteroid hit. Right, that turned into a volcano almost. But I don't know. Could just be due to the tidal forces caused by that gas giant right there. Check this one. Oh wait, we were just on that one. Let's go to this one over here, which is considerably larger. By about 1,000 kilometers in diameter. In fact, this is very close to the size of Earth. This one also has auroras. cool. This one also has a magnetosphere, and I can see there is a faint glow to it, which makes me think there is also a relatively visible atmosphere. I think the moon has one as well. It does have volcanoes, but oh, no, they're certainly active, so... Again, possibly due to the tidal forces caused by that planet right there. Very cool. Do any other moons have this? No, I'm not seeing auroras on this one. Anything glowing on the dark side, that would point to having volcanic activity. What about this one? Nope, nothing going on here either. Yeah, go over these real quick. Okay, so these are way darker, by the way. That just leads me to think that those magnetospheres are purely being caused by the tidal effects being caused, like, I guess, what would you say, emitted? Yeah, the tidal effects on those planets that basically just shifts everything around and I guess keeps the planet's core molten through friction. And we got a ice world over here that seems to be a lot brighter, at least in the little picture there. Yeah, I guess this one's a lot brighter. And a little tiny one over here. Basically an asteroid. Cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next edition from Smelly Willy. Awesome name, by the way. Go ahead and copy this ID. The ID doesn't have RG in front of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that there and then paste the ID in. And we are going to a quasar, it looks like, as you see there in the top left. That looks like the Milky Way. So a quasar with the Milky Way's texture. Let's go ahead and see this lovely quasar in the center of this galaxy. And all we see is black, and as we zoom out, there is a supermassive black hole. Now, this isn't as cool as a quasar would really be, because it doesn't have the huge gamma-ray jets spewing out the sides of it, even though I don't think those really fit within the visible light spectrum. I'm sure there would be some visible light emitted from that. It would just be very bright. Speaking of very bright, as we back out, this should be a very bright galaxy. And as you can see, we are passing many, many galaxies on the sides there. And as we get further and further out, it still glows very brightly. In fact, it's even redshifting because we're getting that far away. We're currently 5 billion light years away from it. I can still see it, and I think we have gone past the edge of the observable universe. And it's still there, very faintly, but there is a slight bit of red there. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do that. 1 second, let's go ahead and zoom back out real quick. I'm going the max speed that I can go in the game currently. And I want to see something, since we were still able to see this galaxy here from this direction. I guess we're close to the edge of the universe, because we're not flying very far. Well, I mean, we're flying very far. Not to, you know, understate how far we're actually flying, but I know the observable universe goes much further than that. Let's go ahead and click on these galaxies. Are these all quasars? No, they don't appear to be. What about these ones in the far back? No, for some reason there's just some super bright galaxies, and then there's just this one quasar here. Very odd. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from Jonathan 888. It is a brown dwarf near a pretty nebula, and he thinks it looks very cool. No, I think we're in a regular galaxy. There's the nebula. Okay, so we have a red dwarf up there. Let's flare again, just for the fun of Okay, so we got a brown dwarf with some heated bands on it. The surface temperature of this brown dwarf is 770 degrees Celsius, so not really too hot in comparison to a star, but very, very hot relative to Earth. And as you see, we got these pink auroras here, which I defaulted the aurora brightness because they were probably a little bit too bright in my previous videos. I just want to see my video settings. They're right here. Okay, I hope you got a good view of them. Let's go ahead and zoom in and see if this is a solid brown dwarf. I think it's just going to be a gas giant variant, judging by these clouds here. The reason why I say solid brown dwarf is some of the planets and stuff in this game generate solid, like brown dwarfs and stuff. Don't know why, but this one's definitely a gas giant variant, even though in reality all brown dwarfs would be gas giants more than likely. And is that another brown dwarf? No, that's a frozen ice world being illuminated by this brown dwarf, but not really. Interesting. And as we look around, since it is an irregular galaxy, we're gonna see this nebula, which is right here. And then if we get the right axis here, we can find that by just rotating here and seeing another nebula. You can see, in fact, they're incredibly visible when you're in one of these kind of galaxies. In fact, if we go over here and turn the magnitude of nebulas up, or galaxies rather, you can see just how many nebulas there are. It's a very cool effect, but let's go and turn that off before we crash our game. The next suggestion is from Squiffy Abyss 000. Let's go ahead and copy this ID and paste it in. And it is not working. Okay, well, he says it's a saturated yellow Terra with life orbiting a low-mass star in a galactic collision. And the ID is not working, so if you can double-check that and make sure it works, feel free to post like the corrected ID in the comments of this video. And let me know, like anyone else, if you want to go to Squiffy Abyss's comment on the previous video here. Tell me if that ID works, because I did get some people saying the ID works fine and it's my client having trouble. So that would be really important for me to know if I need to like reinstall my game once more or something like that. I'm not running the Eclipse version of the game, I'm running the base version, so I'm not running the E variant of the game. You can see that version right here. Running the E version of the game, I don't know if that can cause some mismatch there, but I'm running the public build that's right there on the website. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the suggestion from Danubu Ball. Okay, so it's a Terra Moon orbiting an ice giant. We're in a galactic collision, it looks like, between an irregular galaxy and a spiral galaxy. We got the ice giant over there, which is like a brown banded ice giant, and we got a star that's pretty close, a red dwarf. Some auroras on this planet, so it has a molten core, marine and terrestrial life. Those stars loading up like that, that's kind of weird. And over here we have an active volcano, so definitely some active volcanoes on this planet. And judging by the magnetosphere, it's a very active core. In fact, it's probably a young planet. We have the age right here. Doesn't appear to be all that young. Got some hills, kind of the rounded variant, not the tall, spiky ones. And they're just not generating. I'll give it some time. I didn't slow down the generation that much. Now that I've stopped moving around, let's pause so time is not moving. Yeah, I wonder if that regular galaxy was causing some issues with this loading here. Or maybe just the large amount of hills there is just causing like a very large rendering queue. Yeah, things seem to be a lot faster over here. Yeah, I wonder why it's taking so long to render. Let's go to my settings real quick. Okay, so I turned down the detail a little bit. That's fine. That wouldn't affect this. But let's go and turn the loading speed to default. Well, it seems a little bit faster, but I am noticing a little bit more frame dipping. I wouldn't think just 5 points in value there would actually significantly affect that, but I guess it did. I'm thinking it's because of the magnitude of these stars. Let's go ahead and just crank down the star magnitude a bit. Just kind of free up the engine a little bit and see if we can generate this train a little bit faster. Well, it seems to be loading a lot faster. I wouldn't think this is because of my Ryzen processor, since I moved away from my overclocked i5. But could be a possibility. I'm seeing a lot of weird stuff happen. Maybe I just have a bad cache or something like that. I don't know what this would be. Not too sure. But let's go ahead and fly over to this pole over here, since it looks like it does have a pole. No, that is not a pole. That is a hurricane. That is not a pole at all. Right through the eye of the storm. It's taking a while to generate. And it looks like we have some dark purple life over here. And I imagine I'm just bogging up that like rendering queue quite a bit by just quickly going to places, but I'm not going to sit there and wait 5 minutes or whatever it's going to take for it to finally pop in. So it looks like we have the dry kind of pine forest satellite image texture going on here, but it's a dark purple variant. You know, I'm kind of curious. I'm going to look at my RAM usage. So my memory usage is 4.5 out of 8 gigs, so, I mean, it's definitely not that. The CPU is not really at any sort of load at the moment on like any of the cores. Of course, I think this is like a single-threaded app, but yeah, I have absolutely no clue what would be causing that. I guess I could have overclocked my RAM or something, but I don't know if that would help. Possibly. I don't know. Detouring away from the actual video itself, just for troubleshooting. Let's go check out the gas giant that this planet is orbiting around. Wherever that went. There it is. So, temperate ice giant. Auroras on this one. Very bright band, some kind of faded purple bands, and this really shiny looking band, which is just the atmosphere showing through a clear band, I do believe. Makes a really cool effect when you put the sun next to it. Makes it really shiny looking. If you can put the sun right into the atmosphere, you can change the color of the sun's diffraction spike. I don't think we're at a gas giant that's far enough away to do that though, since the sun is still pretty big. Nope, we're getting some color change right there. Yeah, there we go. There's some color shift. Yeah, that's always fun to mess with. But let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from somewhat opinionated complainer. Okay, that's an interesting name. Let's go ahead and back out this ID, paste it in, and here we go. Can you please visit this? What you'll find might shock you. But I have seen this before. We're around the Milky Way. I can kind of explain this issue. So, this is a gas giant, a scorched gas giant, mind you. because there is in fact, if I can get a good view, possibly by clipping through and putting it like at the edge of my screen possibly, no. But when I zoomed out, you're able to see it. There was a diffraction spike inside this gas giant here. There it is. So there is in fact a star within this gas giant. So the game, like everything that's cataloged in this game, is based off of probably public resources and databases of what various telescopes have observed. This is what happens when something is not copied from the database properly, and you have a planet, if you guys haven't noticed yet, with a diameter of 1.26 astronomical units. Very, very big planet. In fact, it's an absurdly big planet, and there's a star inside of it, with some type of burning something in the center making a comet tail, which is that scorched desert right there. Let's see what happens if we try to go to it. Probably land on it. Okay, I don't want to leave flashing things on my screen for too long, but you get the point. It's an incredibly large gas giant that's pretty much consumed its star. So, a fun little bug in this game that happens occasionally. Let's get that off my screen. Okay. That was looking a lot like it was about to crash the game or something. But let's go ahead and move on to the next edition. Zeta Reticuli? Never heard of that. This is from Chris Uridane. I'm terrible. I can't English idea. Not something that appears to be in the game. It's at 2 RET, I guess was what that would be. Yeah, that's what it appears to be. There's no description, so I don't know what to observe here. Must be close to the sun. Things are looking mostly correct. Pleiades looks proper. Yeah, things are looking proper around here. So it must be pretty close to the sun. They're flickering. My game is probably gonna crash. That's normally what that flickering is a sign of, so let's just kind of enjoy it before it crashes. Which I hate crashes because that means more editing, and, you know, more editing just means I'm less happy. But, oh well. So we got some big rings on this gas giant here, and a couple little moons orbiting within its rings. Let's go ahead and check out this tiny asteroid right here. Asteroid. And you can see the star right there, shining on the rings. Very cool. You can see it flickering beyond the bands of the rings there. In the right view on these rings, you see each little individual dust particle, which is really just a grainy noise effect, but pretty cool. And I don't know if there's anything in particular that I'm supposed to visit around the star. In fact, I'm pretty sure these are just randomly generated planets. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is probably just restart my game before it crashes, so I don't lose my position. And just like that, I am back. The home of the gray aliens. What? Gray aliens don't exist, they're just mirrors of ourselves. What? I don't understand references or any theories or hypothetical things related to that. But I digress, and I'll go ahead and just move on. The next suggestion is from Jack Morgan 101, who I do believe is an older person on this channel. Somebody who subscribed earlier on. And they posted 2 suggestions, but I'm only going to visit the first one, since I now only visit 1 suggestion per person per video. So, I have no idea if this is a glitch, but but this star is almost completely flat. Hopefully, it's not a completely flat star that's going to crash my game. So, here we go. It's a white dwarf. Okay. It's not a flat star at all. It has an accretion disk. If we go ahead and turn down the exposure a lot, you can see what I'm talking about. You can see the black hole style accretion disk that is around the star. And here's the star in the center. So, if that confused you, that's actually what's going on. It's a white dwarf with an accretion disk, which means it's probably stealing mass from that giant star right there. And basically it's a binary. This one collapsed into a white dwarf, ejected its outer shell, and now it's just stealing mass from that star. And probably going nova occasionally. But since that was such a short suggestion, let's go ahead and just visit the other one you posted, which is a planet. Let's go ahead and just paste this in here. It's a warm desert with a green or yellow atmosphere inside of a nebula. I need a copy, so I'll just go ahead and try that again. There we go. And here we go. Looks like we're in Andromeda. I think so. That looked like Andromeda for the split second when I saw it. And this is a very toxic looking world. Carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. Probably not the best things to be breathing, but we'll go ahead and touch down anyways. Make sure you have your suits ready. So we have a bugged out volcano here, where the top of the volcano is not quite centered with the volcano itself. Got some windy sand texture hills going on here, but they're incredibly large, so they're more like rolling hills, like a valley or something. Got some granulated sand and some kind of just dry texture. Not really too much going on in this desert. We're inside of a nebula. There's a star, and it's binary with just two red dwarfs. We're in this little red nebula, which is randomly generated inside of a galaxy that looks like Andromeda, but is not Andromeda. As you can tell, there's not the little elliptical mini galaxies, I guess dwarf galaxies, orbiting around it. And that's pretty interesting. The diameter of it is 138 kilowatt years. Go ahead and just shift H. We'll go to the Milky Way. And if we back out here, see Andromeda right over here, which is a diameter of 141 kilowatt years, so not too far off in size. Interesting. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from River for You. Still the same blue merging galaxy. No real description on the suggestion itself, though. So, we're going in blind. So it's a random star, orange dwarf, not too far away from the Milky Way. And we have an organic multicellular Terra with life. Or I guess, rather, the life is organic multicellular, marine, and terrestrial, so we can see the life here, as you can see by these green plants. Go ahead and zoom right in. And I cannot even tell what that texture is, but it's mixed in with a winded sand texture. And I can't help but notice that since I restarted my game, everything's running brilliant now. All this terrain is rendering nice and fast like it should. Even though I had it slowed down earlier, that was way too slow for just turning it down 5 points, so I'm just going to go ahead and set that again. That had to have just been like, I don't know, me messing around, moving things too fast or something like that. But things should render in pretty quickly, even with a value of 15 there. So let's go ahead and experiment with that. Let's just swing around to the other side of the planet. And let's go touch down at this volcano right here. Yeah, as you can see, things are rendering at relatively good speeds. This is a nice detailed volcano. It could detail a little bit more, but yeah, there was no real reason for it to be taking that long. So we got some nice large dark rings. We're in the same galactic collision with that blue galaxy that's kind of very odd. That looks. It's like it's just being absolutely destroyed into basically a regular galaxy from this collision. It's very pixelated though, not really too much detail of that galaxy. So I don't know if we were supposed to visit that Terra. Let's go ahead and go back to the suggestion here. Again from River for You. And let's just check out a few of these other planets. Gas giant here with some large rings. Gas giant 2 with a diameter of 152,000 kilometers, so isn't that bigger than Jupiter? Might be. This one is ever so slightly bigger than that previous one we were just at. Actually, if we compare it to the star here, that's 1.2 million. This is 154,000, so this is about 1/11th, I guess you would say, of that star. Got a molten planet here. I think it's orbiting a little bit too close to that gas giant. And it's also, it looks like it has a runaway greenhouse effect as well, so it might just be taking a lot of heat from that star, along with the tidal forces from that gas giant, and it's just a big ball of lava. Who knows, it might even shatter into a ring if it falls closer to that gas giant. But it doesn't seem to be at that stage just yet. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from Henry Pretorius. Let's see if I can copy that. I forgot the 9 at the end, but I'll just type that in. Whoops. There we go. And it's a frozen titan with colorful mountains. Here we go. Nice and dark. And it looks like it's half frozen. It's got that very vibrant blue ice on it. Go ahead and touch down right where that polar cap is. So we've seen this before, but it's a really cool effect with these titans. Is they generate some of the coolest colors in the game, I would say. They're just very unique and very alien and weird looking. And looks like the primary composition of the atmosphere on this one is nitrogen. From negative 224 degrees Celsius on the surface. It doesn't really matter where in the atmosphere we are, it's just kind of that temperature, just very cold. And you can see that it has rings as well, and a cloud layer. Now what's very strange is it does have auroras as well, so that's kind of cool. So it does have like an active inner core. Oh, a really cool effect, and the parenting star is that way. And it looks like both the stars that are binary in the system have a planet with life. This one has aerial life, aka some kind of bacterial life that lives in the atmosphere of that gas giant. And this other star has a Terra with life. With some very, very beautiful colors as well. Very cool. A hurricane, or is that just a snowy hill? That is a snowy volcano. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from Saiwan. And they say to check out the night sky. And here we go. Really cool. It is a cold desert with a blue atmosphere, and there's galaxies all around us. We might even be in a collision. But I've been told to check out the night sky, so let's go over to this whole side of the planet here with the auroras. Just down next to this glowing volcano. we'll get this off the screen. We'll decrease our field of view a little bit. And we'll just enjoy this night sky a little bit. And hit play. Kind of turned daytime on us, but we can still see the night sky very beautifully. A very cool effect. Let's go ahead and pause the game so we don't lag it out here. And here's that glowing volcano. So you can see there's just a ton of galaxies in the sky there. Let's turn off the cloud layer. There we go. That's a very, very cool effect. It looks like we're in a three-way galactical collision. Possibly four. Let's go ahead and fix our field of view. And let's zoom out here and see what the heck is going on. So it looks like we're sandwiched between two galaxies. That one has a very low-res texture. And then we have this fourth galaxy on the way to collide with these three. Very cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from first name, last name. Okay, so it has an ESI of 9.941. The suggestions you said for later, please post those like in the next video, because I do only check the comments on the latest video for the suggestions, and honestly, that would just make it a lot easier for me to be able to just see the suggestion that you wanted to visit, like I guess in the comments of this video that you're watching right now. So yeah, just try to do that. I don't really keep like a notepad or anything with the IDs. But it looks like I might be visiting your next suggestions anyways, because your current suggestion with an ESI of 9.41 or 0.941, I mean, or just 94%, is not loading. So let's go to the very cool desert moon with rings, a nice view, and drawing. That one loaded up. Interesting. And here's the Andromeda Galaxy. Okay. Got this. What is this? Gas giant? I think it's a gas giant. Yeah, we're at a gas giant. It says right there on the top left. Got some very large rings. Look at this gas giant. Which star are we orbiting? I guess this would be our gas giant here, and is this the desert you want me to visit? You wanted me to visit all the things. Hot desert. And should we turn off real planet brightness? Let's go ahead and do that. Just to get a nice view of this desert. Oh, that's a very cool color. It has 3 different colors because of the stars here. Very cool. Look at that, bright orange rings. Let's go ahead and touch down right here. Oh, look at that. That is awesome. Can I get a good, like, freeze frame of that? Okay, so we have that planet right there. And this planet right here. Let's do this. Let's line these 3 up like this and just decrease our field of view. Look at that. I really love the colors. We got like a blue, looks a little bit whiter right here. yellow. This kind of turns into a pink color on these two planets. It's just a really cool effect. And then we have the gas giant right here. Can we get these like in sync somehow? Let's kind of speed up time a little bit. Let's see if we can get like these somewhat lined up here. There we go. That's a really neat effect. And then what we can do is we can just kind of turn down the star magnitude just a little bit. Just like that. And there you go. That's a nice screenshot. So let's go ahead and correct our field of view. Let's go ahead and default our magnitude. Let's move on to the next suggestion, which is from Hera, Vasir, Rex, long name. Still haven't commented saying I'm just like butchering your name or anything like that, so I assume I'm getting at least the beginning part correct. But man, that is a long username. Anyways, let's go. I'm not joking, this planet has life, and it's situated in a quasar. Even the neighboring gas giants have life. Yeah, I don't think the quasars have any effect on life in the game yet. I think it just completely ignores that. It's not particularly close to the quasar, but yeah, quasars are incredibly powerful, so yeah, if that quasar even so much as just, you know, poked this planet with its gamma ray burst, it would annihilate it. Like, all this atmosphere would probably just be torn away immediately. So, yeah, I don't really know. I guess the game just doesn't really factor that in. Maybe this planet's just in such a good position where it can still maintain its life. Not really too sure, but they are very, very energetic. And, you can see the, kind of mossy looking life texture there. And a very, very golden orange planet. Unless this is a completely different color. My screen is not the best, but yeah, kind of has that gold color to it. And I think we're orbiting Red Dwarf. What it looks like. So I wonder if that orange color is mostly to do with Red Dwarf, or if that's purely atmosphere. Not too sure, but we are very close to that Red Dwarf. That just makes me think it's atmosphere. Oh wait, I have the clouds disabled, didn't I? Yeah, let's go ahead and re-enable that. Clouds disabled, that give those previous planets a weird look. I think I'm gonna have to go back to that previous suggestion right after this. There we go, now we have the cloud layer. So it's a Terra, and you can see there is clouds on it. You can in fact see the Coriolis effect on this planet as well. And even some cyclones forming in the center there. Not really too different with the clouds and everything though. Is there any polar caps on this planet? What did I see? Even though the temperature is 71 degrees. So no, never mind. That's completely understandable. There would still be some snow at the poles though. Not too sure why that is. This previous suggestion from first name, last name, and see what those planets look like with clouds. And here we go, just slingshotting back over here. Okay, so now we got some stripes on this gas giant here. Let's go check out this desert. Okay, so it's not too much different, other than the fact that this is a runaway greenhouse effect. So, super thick cloud layer. Oops, smacked right back into the planet. I'm just trying to speed up here. There we go. So yeah, a little bit different appearance for these planets, but they still have that really cool color going on. That's for sure. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Sebi Trains mentioned that I missed his suggestion. I'm very sorry about that. I probably didn't see your comment. I'm seeing your comment right now, but yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. You didn't post a suggestion on this video though for me to visit. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and repost that, and maybe post a second suggestion, I'll try to visit it. Be sure that I mentioned it, or else I might totally forget, because, well, this video I think is like 2 weeks after my previous video. Even though I said I want to start doing them faster, I mean, I completely lied about that apparently. But I was kind of focused on that animated video, and then, other things. I'm personally just incredibly busy in real life right now, so I can't really stay on top of the whole video thing right now. But I'm trying to keep up a little bit, at least. I don't want to like disappear for like 3 weeks or something like that. I'm trying to at least get like a video or like 1 to 3 videos out a week. But I can't just like cram out videos once a day like I used to. I just don't have that time. Anyways, the next edition is from Deck Barreau. No description. Let's go ahead and paste this in. Give her that question mark. Randomly generated white main sequence star. And as a gas giant, not with life. In fact, one of the planets, or moons rather, that are orbiting it have life. A cool desert with life, and a lot of clouds. And is that water, or is that just purple life? Okay, that's just life. Okay, this is pretty cool. This brown stuff is completely just sawed that mountain in half is what it looks like. Yeah, in fact it completely killed that biome right there. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's weird. Was that supposed to be water at some point? I think water was trying to generate there and it just did not. That's kind of weird. And it looks like we have the kind of rainforest treetop texture going on. Zoom out here. Is there any polar caps? Not that I see. But we do have auroras and an active core. So let's go ahead and back out here, and we have this warm terra with life over here, but it's only marine life, so we won't be able to see it. And it's kind of one of those generic blue terras that generate a lot. They don't really have much color to them in the terrain features. They all just kind of look the same. Since it's marine life, we don't even have any life textures to go stare at. Even its volcanoes are bugged out. I feel like I got ripped off of this planet here. No poles because it's like 80 degrees. Hurricanes everywhere. This planet is just depressing. We're just gonna go ahead and pretend this planet over here doesn't exist. That would be like that terra you discover with a telescope, and then you like finally bring a spaceship over after like flying 50 light years or something, and just finding that, and you're just like, oh, well, what can we do with this? We'll plant stuff on it and hope it grows. This desert is much cooler. And it doesn't even have water. How do these plants even grow? They don't even have the water. Guess there's just a lot of water in the soil. Let's see the atmospheric composition. CO2, oxygen, and sulfur dioxide. Can't say that's probably the most healthy thing that we'd be breathing, and it also has 1.39 atmospheres of pressure. Which is fine, we totally survive in that, but I can't say the temperature of it or the atmospheric compositions are too healthy for us, I would have to say. Oh, that does look like water from here. Is that purple life? Yeah, I think so. So it has purple and green life? Touchdown next to this volcano here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is that just the atmosphere? Oh, that was weird. No, it looks like we have both purple and green life on the same planet. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's turn that atmosphere back on, and let's go to Andromeda suggestion. Frozen ice world. 2 giants, twin, and has a triple star. Andromeda. I'm hoping the closed captions that are generated are working out for you. I know you did request that I, you know, add closed captions to these videos, but honestly, that would be such a task for an hour-long video. It's already, like, I haven't really done closed captions before, but from my understanding, even doing like a 2-minute video is just very, very tedious on those. So, I'm sorry you're kind of at the wrath of the YouTube-generated closed captions. Sure, it just randomly throws in like some words from like other languages and swear words occasionally, even though I don't actually say that. And, I don't know, maybe some other weird stuff, but you know, at least sometimes people leave funny comments saying, "Oh hey, look at the captions at this time," and it says something completely weird and bizarre that I did not say. Well, that's always fun. So we got this ice world here, and it has 2 giants, twins. I would assume that is these 2 over here. So I guess we are in a circumbinary orbit around these 2 gas giants here. That's exactly what that is. Along with apparently many other things. And triple stars. So here's 1 star. Here's another star, and they are orbiting with this star, with a very center in this location. Wait, is that star just orbiting these 2 stars? What's going on? It's saying Berry Center's right there. This Berry Center's in a completely different location. Okay, there it is. So it's like roughly right there. In fact, if I bring up the orbit map, we should be able to see it as like a little diamond. Yeah, there it is. There's the Berry Center. And there's a bunch of things orbiting circumbinary around these 3 stars here. Such as whatever this is. Oh. So we were in a circumbinary orbit around 2 gas giants. That's in a circumbinary orbit, or I guess, circumtrinary, since there's 3 stars there, around those stars. Interesting. And there's something over here, just a little ice world, just hanging out. Completely abandoned, probably ejected from like one of those systems down in there. Very cool. Anyways, let's go and move on to the next suggestion, Nathan Universe 18. Let's paste this in. It's really cool because it has life, and it's right next to the Cat Eye Nebula. Standing on the surface at night gives you a nice view of the Cat's Eye. I have officially been watching your videos for over a year, starting 10 hours and 54 minutes ago. Sweet. Yeah, I noticed that I passed a year. Technically I've been uploading since like 2015, but yeah. I kind of removed a lot of my gaming videos, only because I don't really consider this a gaming channel anymore, and as I said earlier in the video, if I want to make a gaming channel, I'll re-upload those videos there or something. It's just kind of that. Kind of just moved away from gaming, because gaming is not really successful on YouTube anymore. Well, I mean, it's still successful, but it's not what it used to be, that is certainly for sure. But, yeah, honestly, I've found kind of a new calling with these space videos, and they're just kind of more fun to make, really. Because they're like projects. It's not like you're just playing a game or recording the same mundane thing every day. It's more like each video I make is more of a project. Not really so much the SpaceEngine Exploration or like the Universe Sandbox 2 ones, but like the kind of fast space engine videos that I make, like little fact videos. Yes, I mess those things up all the time and have to go back and correct them. but I just use facts that I find like all over the internet through many different resources. A lot of people complain about me using Wikipedia sometimes. I don't even know. It's like, really, those facts are just torn from other websites anyways, but yeah. And then some people just completely get all theoretical with me, and it's like, you do know that's theory, right? When we don't really know this, that's why there's so many different opinions on the matter. But whatever, if it sparks a debate, it sparks a debate. But, yeah, those videos are a lot of fun to make. The animated videos, those are very difficult to make. But each time I do finish up one of those, it's just kind of relieving. Even though I don't seem to get too many views at the moment, I'm hoping they can really pick up, because I really want to keep making those animated videos. They're a lot of fun to actually make, because really it's just a lot more fun to have like a nice long devoted project compared to like, oh, I need to go find a suggestion of Unit for Sandbox 2 and get a video up today. Instead, it's like, you know, each project is different, and it's a lot of drawing, and it's honestly more fun. And I hope that kind of shows and reflects like the quality of the videos that I try to make. I've been trying to improve the video quality for a while now, and I don't know what you really want me to do. So it's really cool because that's live. Okay, let's see if we can find the planet that has live. Would be this one. Orbiting circumbinary with those stars, I guess. And if we go to the night sky here, very thick atmosphere. Touchdown right here. And let's see if we see that cat's eye nebula. There it is right there. Let's turn off the atmosphere. Okay, you can see it glowing beyond the aurora zone. And make sure our field of view is all good. Click off of there. And now we have some really cool mountains being kind of blocking out the light of the Milky Way there. And the Cat's Eye Nebula between some auroras. I guess I could hit play instead of awkwardly just sitting there, freeze frame. There we go, now the auroras are moving. Let's click off that. And there we go. Just a really cool, relaxing effect. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from Ocean Jack. He says, go visit one random Terra in NGC 488. I will say I'm not going to sit here and do these Easter egg hunts for every video. I'd much prefer if you can, I don't know if you have the game, but, how do I turn that on here? It was Shift A? There it is. But I would prefer if you would, try to give me like an ID or something of like a specific planet you found. Just going to any random Terra inside a galaxy is not very, unique, I guess you would say, because all these planets are kind of generated under the same parameters. So the odds are I'm probably just going to find some Terra that doesn't have life or anything really interesting going on for it. But let's go ahead and go to that galaxy. I mean, not to sound like offensive or anything, but you know. It's like, it doesn't really matter what galaxy I'm in, it just really... Okay, so this galaxy looks like Andromeda. That's kind of a perfect example. If I went into an Andromeda, I'd probably find a very similar looking Terra somewhere in the galaxy, and it'll have a very similar view. Because when you're within the galaxy, it just looks like Andromeda. But let's find a Terra, like, up here. Up high. There's a black hole there. Nothing around there. I don't think that Scorched Selena is a Terra. Another black hole. Black holes seem to be common right now. We got some deserts. I guess I could run the search tool. What's that? That is a scorched ice giant. That is a very scorched ice giant. That's kind of cool. That's a black hole with an accretion disk. Let's go visit that. A little black hole with an accretion disk just orbiting around a giant star. This thing spins so rapidly, it's crazy. It's because there's such a small little point there. It has a mass of, geez, 234 suns. That's not a small black hole at all. That's like a Wolf-Rayet star just collapsed there. I mean, I guess that's bigger than R136A1. I'm just gonna go ahead and run the search tool. This one. Filter settings. Anything. And Terra. And I guess we will go ahead and give it life. Within 25 light years and search. Okay, nothing found. Ah, there's something. We'll go to that. Okay, so we got some polar caps, an orange atmosphere, orbiting around what I can only assume to be a red dwarf. Put my headphones back on real quick. And, let's see, we got some active volcanoes, big polar cap, no auroras, it looks like, no active core. If we just park right here at night, up in the sky, we can see the fake Andromeda galaxy, because that's not actually Andromeda, but it's trying to be, so it's okay. And you can see the star there reflecting across all this very thick ice of this polar cap. Actually a really cool view. Let's go ahead and get all this off the screen and just kind of decrease our field of view here. Well, they kind of crapped out the quality. Let's go ahead and re-increase that. It's a very neat view. Let's go ahead and just hit play and watch it kind of move in slow motion. Since we're on the pole, the star is going to kind of just go up and down. It's not really going to set. Or we're kind of eclipsing the star, so you can see the solar radiation and stuff, the corona of the star. So that's a pretty neat effect. It's up another tick. The star is over here. Yeah, you can see the corona of the star as it kind of gets eclipsed by the planet. And there's all the clouds spiraling around it. And I just reversed it on accident. What I meant to do was pause, hit that, and pause again. So the next suggestion and final suggestion is from Mr. Star Wars, which if I have missed any of your video or any suggestions, not particularly you, Mr. Star Wars, but anyone in this video, please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, well, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to set the time to that. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. I would really like to know. Okay, so I think I have the time settings set correctly. Hopefully it wasn't second specific because it automatically started hitting play there. And let's go to the suggestion. Oh, I put a G there. Oh, this isn't loading. Well, let's read the description. Unless it's a bug, this world gets eclipsed completely by another planet. For when it happens, by the way, its moon eclipses the planet half of its year. Look at the new galaxy skin I found. It looks like Halo Reach, or it looks like Reach from Halo. Well, unfortunately, this is not loading. Yeah, and again, if somebody can test this ID right here, and let me know if that works for you or not, because I really want to know. And make sure you're not on the E variant of the game, because I'm not. Yeah, basically, I don't really know. But that idea wasn't working, unfortunately, and I hope it's not because you're like on the E variant of the game or something. And like I said, any other user, please test that ID right there at the end there, and let me know if that works for you or not, or if it's specifically my game, because it seems like a lot of IDs are just not working for me. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and close the video on that. If you guys liked the video, please subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.